Hello, forward thinkers, and welcome to another episode of Expats Unpacked. Today we have Nolwazi with us, the internal campaign manager at Exness, where she builds unique communication plans. Nolwazi is passionate about directing authentic work culture. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on Spotify and at fastforward.com.cy. Nolwazi, it's such an honor to have you with us.
Oh, glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So I was doing some research on you.
Yes.
And you said something that I thought was very profound. You said that coming to Cyprus was your eat, pray, work, grow moment.
Yes.
Now we've all seen the movie, but can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, I think it was Julia Roberts who was the actress there. And in the movie, you see her going into an adventure unknown. So it's not something that she planned and she had like no expectations, etc. So yeah, that's basically what has happened when I moved to Cyprus. It wasn't planned, honestly, but it happened. And since being here, there's been a lot of just eat, pray, and work moments, literally. So I've eaten really good food. I work in the best companies, and when I say pray, it's just more of the silence and going into the mountains and the beaches, etc. So maybe that's how I'll close it to elaborate what that meant to me.
Interesting that you're enjoying the Cyprus mountains and the Cyprus beaches.
Yes, yes. I think Cyprus is just a beautiful country altogether, right? And I like to think like it's got all the elements of the world. So yeah, you've got the beaches, you've got the mountains, you've got the cities. So it's basically getting best of like all worlds. And then obviously you have the company I work for, obviously Exness, which is an escape to all of that, which is like fast paced, etc. So it's a balance of the calmness of Cyprus and the hustle and bustle of Exness.
That means a lot coming from someone that lived in South Africa, because that's another country that has everything.
Yes, so maybe I could look at it like it's moving to a mini South Africa.
So you specialize in communications,
Mhm.
but you mentioned in one of your LinkedIn posts that you have the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
How do you manage to control that and thrive in your work environment?
100%. So let me take it a step back, right? In where I come from, just academically, etc., to get in the door, you have to be very strong at something. So whether it's your academics, whether it's your personality, whether it's just basically your uniqueness to be absolutely allowed to even be in rooms that you wouldn't normally be in, right? So with that comes a lot of imposter syndrome. Are you good enough? Do you fit in? Are you valued, etc.? So how I've gotten through that is honestly, I think by the people that I'm always around. I'm around phenomenal, specifically women. Women have gotten me here so far. It's women who've hired me. It's women who've gotten me here really. And basically looking at them as some sort of inspiration as well, and the way that they do things and mimicking the right things that they do. So I think with imposter syndrome, you just have to find a way to escape yourself a little bit and find things that inspire you outside of yourself.
That's some great advice.
Thank you.
So part of your work with internal communications is to make sure that there is authentic leadership. How do you think that can be fostered? Trust and inclusivity within a company.
Authentic communication at the end of the day is what does the business want to achieve? Unfortunately, it's a balancing of what the business is and who are the people that are doing it. I think sometimes we forget that in a working environment, we're not just robots. There's people behind these products, these superior things. And the people obviously like having authentic conversations. And when it's not authentic, they won't adapt or they won't buy into the different types of paths or key messages that the company may want at a certain time. So I think how do we drive that? It's always asking what is the key message? What is the foundation? What is the purpose? And I think once you find out the purpose of that message, it's able to obviously then, speak about it, find key communication plans for it, find different touch points for it where you can find the people. Are they on Slack? Are they on LinkedIn, etc.? And basically that's how you communicate it in an environment where they can obviously absorb the information. So yeah, I hope that's not too tricky.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But in a big company
Yes.
like Exness, what are some of the challenges in making sure that you can have transparent communication that reaches a diverse crowd of employees. Or maybe you can give us a specific example of a strategy you did
Right.
that achieved that.
Okay, so I like what you mentioned there because diversity means we all come from different parts of the world. So you're right. Exness has everyone from all over the world. I mean, we've got Russians, Cypriots, South Africans, Kenyans, etc. So in such a dynamic world, how do you communicate with everyone, well? So but that is kind of like the benefits. I think when it comes with different perspectives, okay, so for example, a real example, we currently obviously always emphasize culture. It's quite important to us. We have 5 principles. We're passionate about them, and we try obviously drive them in the actual organization. So with communication, how it comes in, it's reminding colleagues of all these values and our principles at all the different touch points possible. Basically, that is the challenge, that you want to be able to communicate with everyone one message, and how do you drive that delivery. So yeah, I think that's maybe sometimes the biggest challenge, but we overcome that in communications. And obviously just language barriers. I mean, yes, we all speak English, but some people, like, we just need to keep it simple. So sometimes, I remember when I started, I used to speak a lot of like flamboyant English or whatever it is. But I've realized coming here, just keep it simple. Like, just obviously communicate straightforward, and people actually understand and get the message much better.
Okay. You talk a lot about empathy and emotional intelligence when it comes to internal campaigns. What role do you think that plays into crafting strategies that build bridges between the leadership and the employees of a company?
With empathy, obviously you need to know, you have to kind of picture yourself in that person's position. And sometimes with senior leaders, I don't know, sometimes I think with all of us, when we think about even Bill Gates, etc., you don't think they're actually human. You kind of idolize them, etc. So sometimes it's just bringing them down to human form. And that means, for example, for us, our leadership, we appreciate them a lot, and they do amazing things. They break barriers, etc. So they've got quite a lot of respect, but they people. So we do a lot of like things like town halls, etc., where we ask them any questions. So that helps a lot to humanize them. And when they don't know, they actually say it, like, we don't know the answer. So those types of conversations that are continuous in an organization are quite important. And just putting them in rooms and podcasts, etc. So we have a CEO podcast, for example, where we discuss very technical, or insightful things, and we just make sure that we just have it as a conversation form like you and I, and that's how people can understand it. So one is humanizing people that maybe seem too superior, so that they bed down to everyone's understanding and know that we're all human and we can like listen to them and they're actually making sense. And just number two, just putting them, inviting leadership to assist us as well. So there's many times where we just sit down with them and ask them what they want, what they envision, etc., and then we find ways that make sense for the organization and how they understand it. So yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. So, in a lot of companies, the leadership is, unapproachable by the bottom line. Do you think it's important for, any level of employee to have access to the upper management and able to communicate? I'm not saying, the door is open for everyone, but at least at certain times be
Yes.
able to, touch base with upper management.
Absolutely. And you just said this, but we actually have an open door policy.
Mm,
So, of course, it's structured very well, but there are open doors. So, I think that's very important. And there's a lot of engagement and activities and activations in the company. Because you must remember, we work quite a lot and it's quite fast paced. So, we do things like, community outreach programs. We do a lot of activities, sports days, etc. And you see literally our senior managers there as well. So those are also maybe informal opportunities for colleagues to speak to them. And obviously open door, which is structured, is more private conversations that they may want to have. And like I said, town halls where we definitely have a session at the end, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, where anyone can ask anything. So I think that's already giving so much of themselves. And that's quite important as well. But in terms of them being unapproachable, I'd like to address that a bit more. I don't believe they're unapproachable. I don't think any senior manager is not unapproachable. I mean, in my head, I don't think even Bill Gates is unapproachable, you know? But it also comes from, sometimes I encourage colleagues to look at themselves and just gain, like me, imposter syndrome, let it go for a minute and just stand up and speak up. Sometimes not that people are unapproachable, it's maybe you not having the confidence or the air, drive to say something. So it's actually a two-way street.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Um, you mentioned before about some informal activities like sports, and I know that Exness does a lot of, employee activities, benefits. Do you have any data from your role that show how a company benefits from giving back to the employees?
I'm not too sure about the data, honestly, but I can think, you know how you have just that instinct or that gut type of feeling?
Hmm.
I believe that Exness does things that are just transcendable. So there's no way you live in Cyprus and you don't know us. It may not so much be about what we do, trading, but I mean, it's about the community outreach programs that we do, the activations that we do, the sports days that we do, the benefits that we do. So I can maybe speak on the internal part of it. We do get quite a lot of benefits, and the only request is that we also give back. So this is very important as well. I mean, imagine someone giving you, the cars, making sure you have a good environment, making sure when you want to be a legal citizen in the country, it's easier to make sure, like help you with the process, etc. So it's very important then as a colleague that, it's almost like the company tries to make sure that you don't have to worry about anything so that you can actually focus on the work. So the least you could do is actually do the best you can. I mean, we're experts, so we need
Hmm.
time to not worry about all the other stuff, but focus on our expertise. Our environment is like that, and that's why we do so well.
Yeah, I think that give and take example
Yes,
should be an example for all companies in Cyprus that want to retain their talent, that
yes,
want to, have hardworking people
yes.
that feel satisfied, that have good work-life balance.
I love you. Yes, I
Yeah.
love how you put it. Work-life balance is very important. However, for example, I'm an expat, right? When I get here, I didn't move with any of my family members or my friends, etc. So for me, all I have is work. And now and again, the company reminds me that there's more to work. So, there's cooking classes. So we have like little communities where whatever you like, you can like, if you want to be baristas, etc. There's little groups and communities that you can do. So with that, I think again, it's as much as you give. I could have decided to just sit there and be on some, there's nothing for me. But if I go out there, if I look for the community pages and I find more about them and the information about them, engage with them, build my own little community. I mean, the sky's the limit. So it's basically having all these resources, and it's just for you to make the best of it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning your experience as an expat. Um, and maybe that would be good advice for other expats or people that are thinking to move to Cyprus. If you could share a little bit, how do you engage with the local community and more specific, like what outlets do you have to build a community in a new country that, you came here without friends, without family?
So I'm lucky. I've got a lot of Cypriot colleagues around me. So right now, a lot of us obviously want to get naturalization, etc. So we're learning Greek. So that's like our little
You're
common.
learning Greek?
I haven't started really, but
Okay.
most of my colleagues, I know how to do the basics. Sika, sika, those words, kalimera, etc. But we're learning Greek, so that's a lot of activities around that. Um, and in general, how do I get with the locals? I love the carnival. I have been a goddess. I have been a chicken. I
Oh, they
have
turn you into a
been
Limassolian.
a rocket. Sorry?
They turn you into a Limassolian
Really? Is
with the
that
carnival.
Oh, I am then. I take it with pride. So basically, I love that the carnival, for example, and it's not just about the actual carnival. It's the leading up to it. It's the community. It's
Hmm.
the ideation of what costumes are going to be worn, and then you have to get then the parties before that and the celebration before that, and then you go to the carnival and celebrate with all these people from all over. So I think for me, it was important to engage with the different types of things that Cyprus like, and the country likes to do. So I do a lot of that.
Okay, Carnival or
Yes.
Halloween?
Carnival for sure.
Really?
Remember, I'm African. Halloween is not our.
It's not a thing.
It's a very dark place for us, to be honest.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a couple of rapid fire questions.
Okay, let's go.
I want to know your favorite activity in Cyprus.
Carnival.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to know your favorite Cypriot beach.
The Korean.
The Kourion.
Kourion.
Okay, you've never been to Ayia Napa?
I've been it as well. It's a bit chaotic.
It's a
But
bit
Korean is
chaotic.
quiet. The mountains are beautiful. the
I see it. It's
sunset.
very scenic.
Yes.
I see it.
Yes, peaceful.
What's your mantra in life or a quote that really resonates and drives you?
They change every day.
Oh, good.
They change every day. I listen to a lot of podcasts and just engage. I follow a lot of pages of motivations, etc. So recently I discovered one where the lady described, she's basically like a security agent, and they were asking her, how do you, what's the biggest lesson that they've taught you in the secret agency? So she takes care of, she's a secret agent. And basically she mentions, keep moving. Whatever you do, keep moving. So they basically described, if there's guns being fired at you, they teach them to run in zigzags, because that will avoid you getting shot. And they actually she linked it to a Greek word. I think it's kinesis.
Kinesis.
Kinesis, sorry. And I love that, to say whatever happens, whatever fires may come, whatever challenges may come, etc., keep moving.
Keep going. Wow.
Keep going, because that's what gets us where we are. If I didn't just keep moving, I wouldn't be in Cyprus. If I didn't keep moving, I wouldn't be working for Exness. If I didn't keep moving, I wouldn't be exploring just life in general, and finding myself and finding these pray work moments. So yeah.
Oh, thank you for
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Before we close, I want to pick up your mind a little bit again. If you see any trends or innovations in shaping the future of authentic leadership and internal communications, and if you have any other closing remarks.
My closing remark would be, as a communication expert, do not always think about your own objective. Step out of yourself a little bit. The world is bigger and it's beautiful, and there's so many things to discover and understand. And when you're a good writer, or all the communication activities, to be unique and authentic, you need to be able to also be empathetic and understand where everyone is coming from. And once you know more and once you feel more, you can do better. So yeah, I think that would be the trend for now. Just don't follow your own instinct only. It's a very good thing to do so, but be more well-rounded. And that will definitely get more people to understand your key messages.
Nolwazi, it was such a treat having you. Maybe you should consider giving motivational speeches.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify and at fastforward.com.cy. Check out our other podcasts, Breakpoint with Michael Dirimos and Urban Canvas. And until next time, keep inspiring and take care.
Love it. Bye.